pulled the box out to reveal the engine, and let me tell you, it's bad. It's really bad. I'm assuming that that's the fuel tank there. Oh, Marina's gonna love this. No, that is kaput. Kaput.
We think it's not really worth the hassle, so we're just gonna take it out and buy a new one.
New to us.
Yeah, new to us, a refurbished engine.
Yeah, we'll see what we can find second-hand or refurbished. We have a budget. So
What's the budget?
as little as possible.
It would have been easier if the boat didn't have an engine, rather that than having to take this one out, but we have to do it. I don't think that's repairable. Since we started documenting Seabird's restoration, the engine has been a hot topic. Does the Perkins work? Why not refurbish it? Just go electric. The Yanmar won't fit the current bed. The angle's wrong. Honestly, we thought the engine swap would be easier, but we knew that in the end we'd have a powerful, reliable engine we understand inside and out. What started as a simple swap quickly escalated, raising the engine bed, upgrading the shaft, fabricating a new strut. It's been more money, more time, and a steep learning curve. Despite taking a week off over Christmas, we have made some progress, and as for the alignment, well, you'll have to see for yourself.
Definitely the winter now. The first frost of the season's coming. It's not the biggest frost, but that is definitely some ice. We've just hit 1 degree, new record low. Still wearing shorts though. On days that Marina edits, I find myself doing quite horrible solo jobs, and today's no exception. I plan to grind out the anchor locker. It's a job that needs doing before we can move in, so the sooner I get it done, the sooner we can paint it and get it ready, and well, basically just get rid of all the dust and all the horribleness. So let's go have a look. So it's not the biggest of areas. I've got to remove this tabbing from that shelf and just grind all this flaky paint. Try and tidy up the bottom a little bit. So it looks like I'll be putting the suit on and getting dusty. The Sikaflex right at the end could probably do with a bit of a tidy up. Maybe put a bit too much on, but better too much than not enough. Tabbing was pretty easy to remove. That's what happens when the tabbing's done sketchily. It's easy to take off. I suppose get rid of all these cables in the corner. That's all for the windlass, which we'll be renewing. Then don the suit and get to the grinding. And the last bit of the cabling is the windlass controls, which look archaic. And yes, I think that's 16 mil, so it's not exactly substantial, but you've got a load of resin right in that bottom area. It's not exactly easy to get the hammer in there to try and break it up, but maybe with the drill and some other bits we'll try and get rid of these last few cables. It's not a nice way to put it. I'm procrastinating putting the suit on and grinding. I'll do this, then I'll go have a sandwich. Look at that. Who does that? Look at it. Look at the state of that. Kind of reminds me of a joke about a spittoon. Let's have a look. Okay. So that's obviously the drain. Okay. All the windlass cables are finally removed. Now we can have a sandwich. Yay. The anchor locker is sealed like a scene from Dexter. I'm donning on the white suit. It's a full face type of day. Well, I've had my sandwich, so let's get it on. Get this all done up. It's probably only about 2 square meters. Just knock the old paint off, give it a hoover, and hopefully that'll do for the day. I'm hoping that once we redo the bottom of the anchor locker and neaten it all up, we can make it look a bit prettier and a bit nicer to work in. I often find that there's a lot of jobs that are just poorly done. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but there's never really a rush with us, so we'd rather do a job that's just easier to maintain and looks a little bit neater. The arms always ride up a little bit, so I put a bit of tape on them. Sometimes I do the tape a bit too tight and I lose circulation, but you learn from your mistakes. Okay. I didn't do much recording whilst grinding the anchor locker. It was pretty much just me in a full suit and a cloud of dust. It's a bit of an ongoing project. This is after the first sitting of grinding. It's not looking too bad. I'd like to neaten up the sort of spine, as it were, that edge there, and I've still got to do the very top corner, which it's quite far away. It's a really horrible dusty job. That's why I didn't do much recording, mainly because all you're going to see is a cloud of dust and me cursing the job. But I think another couple of sessions and this anchor lock will be ready to paint. We just also plan to bring the base up, because to have that horrible little angle, it's just a recipe for nastiness being stuck down there and the chain rusting. Plus we'll also make drain holes for the anchor locker. Why people would drain into the bilge is beyond me, because it's pretty grotty water. But yeah, I think a few more hours and that'll be done. People talk about snow and the current temperatures that they're facing here in the Northern Hemisphere. We have this puddle on the neighbour's boat. When it's frozen, it's cold. When it's not frozen, it's not that cold. And it's currently frozen. Oh geez, that's really frozen. So that's our weather gauge. It's like the hanging rock you see. When the rock's wet, it's raining. When the rock's moving, it's windy.
Yep.
So yep.
When the paddle is frozen,
it's cold. I said on many of the comments I'd give a quick engine tour video. So here I am in the shed, giving a quick tour of the engine. This is a parallel gearbox, KM3P4, which is the gearbox for the 4JH3E. So here's the flexible coupling, and then this is the split flange. So the shaft goes into the flange, and then that gets bolted on there, comme ça. Now it'll all get bolted on. The thing with this engine is the rear mounts and the forward mounts are at different heights. So we put the engine horizontal here in the shed just to measure a very crucial, well, the most crucial measurement, which is the height that the shaft sits at. So once that's all connected, the most important measurement is the center of that, which is roughly 13.5 centimeters above the current bed. Here in the shed, we've leveled out the engine just so we can get that measurement. And many people have asked or have stated that the engine won't be able to sit flush or parallel, and the engine bed currently sits at a 6-degree angle, which is the angle of the shaft. Everything sits on a sloping angle, so it's all parallel all the way through. It would be possible to keep the engine level on the bed if we had an angled gearbox of 6 degrees, but Yanmar only make a gearbox of 7 or 8 degrees, and that in turn would create more problems. The last engine was, as you know, a Perkins 4108 with a velvet drive, which is a parallel drive. So it will sit like this, but at a 6-degree incline going backwards. And when we first were working on the engine, many people stated, oh, you can't have a Yanmar sitting at an incline. So I got all stressed out And I called up Yanmar in England and they said it's perfectly acceptable. The maximum degree is 8 degrees for a Yanmar to sit at and 15 degrees whilst underway. Many people have said you can add a pump like you would find in a Beta, and even on the Perkins they have a pump, but I like to keep everything original. And what I used to do on the last engine when it came to servicing and oil change is put a tube in here with a big syringe, and I found that is the cleanest way by far. Couple of rags, and with that there is no oil spillage, and pretty good at keeping things clean. Mainly because I don't want to have to clean it up afterwards. And it's right what someone said, the schematics of the engine are more similar to the turbo 4JH3 DTE. Sorry, the sun's in my eyes. And with those schematics we find it works better. So I don't know if Renault ordered a lot of engines with that to give people the option of turbo or non-turbo, and then not have to change the layout of the engine bed.
And that is exactly right. ChatGPT confirmed our suspicions, and as you can see on the screen, Renault made the same engine, turbo and non-turbo option with the same dimensions for their production. So we've got a 4JH3 that is not a turbo, but it's got the dimensions of a turbo.
So hopefully this quick tour has shown what it's all about. And this beautifully kinked pipe is nothing to worry about. It's just the hose for the hot water tank. We are on it, don't worry. So this is the current setup. We've wedged the prop in at both the exit here and the inner tube with these wee sticks. It's in there pretty good. Tiny bit of movement, but nothing to write home about. Enough to start on this P bracket. It's way off, and I mean way off. At least 5 to 10 mil it's got to go up. Plan now is to drop it, cut out the inside with the multi-tool and just give it another go. What I thought would be an easy job, just to kind of level it up, being centered in the tube, is pushing it way off the P bracket. So we removed this. I was cutting it in a cross hatch, but the first bit came out quite easily. It just dropped out, and I don't know if this was added or if it's something worse than that.
Like delamination.
But, I don't know. Half of me thinks it was added. Like they just make up sheets of fiberglass for this whole purpose. So it's a little bit closer in.
Nearly there. I think this end needs to go up and the forward end needs to go down a little bit. Many of you agreed that the best way to start was aligning the shaft with the stern tube, which is the only part that we can't really modify. I mean, we could, but we're not going to. So the best way to center the shaft that we thought of was using these sticks all around the shaft. We measured the difference between the diameter of the hole and the diameter of the shaft, and it was 8 mil. So we used 4 mil diameter sticks all around the shaft, on the outside and on the inside, and that seems to have centered the shaft in the stern tube. So next was the strut or the P bracket, however you want to call it.
Depends where you're from.
Which is now almost there. Nearly there.
Yeah.
The only bit to adjust now is the angle. They are not completely parallel. So this corner here needs to go up. This corner here needs to go down.
And then contemplate how we're going to finish this. I'm really into mine.
Yeah, because Stuart's taking such a big chunk. He's saying rebuild more fiberglass on the inside to make sure we have the thickness. And here, it just looks a little bit, yeah, not very good. So what would be the best finish for that?
I'm thinking fillet and then laminate over.
Put fiberglass over the bolts.
Yep.
We've seen that on other boats. We've seen them with the fiberglass, without the fiberglass.
And
what is best? Please comment.
And they actually make a P bracket that is a fiberglass and P bracket, so yeah, you just fiberglass it in.
Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah, I think put little L brackets like that either side, and then you just laminate the whole lot.
Mm.
So I think we might land up taking a piece off here.
Am I going to see another boat?
Of course we're going to see another
let's
boat.
Check. Look at this tree. It's now the skeleton. All the leaves on the floor.
You see their little scratch marks here, they think it's a litter tray.
Where? There?
Yeah, it's where the cats scratch.
Yeah, cats love pooping around here, which is not very nice for us. But cats are cute.
That's it. Prime example.
A poop?
Yeah.
Mm.
So we have to hang our cable in the tree.
We never let the cable touch the floor. Once Stuart was coiling the cable up and got a little bit of poopy hands. And we've got these, I don't know why we're talking about these, but anyway, we've got these to clean up the poops. Let's see what we've got.
Is that a little inspection hatch for...
Is this one bolted on at all?
That could be laminated inside.
Okay.
Hey, look, it's got like a little bit of perspex.
Oh, that's genius.
No, it's not.
Yeah, then you can see what's stuck on your probe, if your probe is still there. There's really a window.
I don't know. Could be.
Oh yeah, this one is totally fiberglassed on.
That's what we might land up doing. If in doubt, fiberglass the shit out of it. Oh, is that a bronze prop shaft? Look at that, eh?
Yeah.
First time for everything. Always walking around the boatyard looking at other boats.
Yeah, it's a good way to learn, just looking at all the boats.
But that thing's fiberglassed on proper. Almost looks like the same type of boat.
Yeah, this is fiberglass up to here.
And that thing is...
I don't know, but in a way, it's like scary to have it. What if something wrong is going on in there and you can't see it?
Look at fiberglass, don't worry about it.
Another one fiberglassed on. Kind of falling off.
This one's fiberglassed.
That's cute. Jack, the sister ship. Fiberglassed. A little bit cracked.
What about this one? Fiberglassed. Like really fiberglassed.
So it looks like we might have to get rid of the copper coat around for like a little bit.
Yeah, just a little patch, you know. Sometimes 2 forward and 1 back. Don't bother me too much. As we said yesterday, we'll probably land up, well not probably, we're going to land up fiberglassing the P bracket in. So all I'm doing today is prepping the P bracket area, and I've also got to tidy up inside. I'm ripping it down to the gel coat. I'm only a couple of tracks in. That's normally how I gauge my sanding. I thought it would be a lot worse. So I've done that side, and then after that I'll work on the actual base, because it's like that. So it's just got to go a little bit more that way, and order up the shims, which I reckon 2 mil should be enough. I'm sure that's enough of a border for the resin and the fiberglass to adhere to. Now on with the internal piece. So I'll make that look pretty. So it looks like this whole piece was put in after. I'm really trying to decipher how they built these things. But in a way, clean it all up, take off all this. You know, you could see the cracks along here. And just rebuild it. It's something and nothing. Once that P bracket's on and bolted, then I've got all the time in the world. See here, crack along there. So that's this bit here. So yeah, just take it off and it's just going to be a bit of a paper mache job, just getting strips of fiberglass in. Well, at least it's not delaminating, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. So yeah, this is how it comes off. Chopped bits in resin, whacked in. I'm slowly starting to, I think, understand how it's built. What I'm assuming is in the shop, in the laminating room, they laminate it and then they leave an area for the engineers to put the engine in and then tidy it up. Yeah, it's just tiny bits. It's not actual sheets of lamination. Yeah, that's actually not too bad at all to make new. I think with a little bit of love, we could definitely bring it back better. A couple more tiny little bits to chip off. And that's it for another adventure of Marina and Stu do boat jobs. Want to wish everyone a happy 2025. It's the start of a new year. Thank you for all your support over 2024, and hopefully this year brings us a bit closer to the water. Not going to jinx anything just yet, but let's see where we are. Want to thank everyone that has been supportive, commented and helped us through with their advice on this project. As you know, neither of us have much experience with some of the jobs we're doing, most of the jobs we're doing. So all comments actually help us so much. And yeah, I think without the support of the viewers, we would struggle that little bit more. So thank you all that have liked, helped, subscribed and commented through 2024 and on to 2025's antics. And a massive thank you to all of our Patreons, because with your support this is possible. So thank you once again, and enjoy a wonderful week, a great start to 2025, and we'll see you next week with hopefully a little bit more done, but only time will tell. Anyway, have a great week. Bye bye.